kitchen at Westminster for another episode of Saving Time. This week we're using sales at Freshco, and with them we're able to put together a meal of, we're going to make 5 chicken burgers. We're going to do a nice raw veggie plate tonight. Kind of feels like summertime despite the weather. And we're going to have it all together. All of this, spinach, pounded chicken, cucumber, tomatoes, pepper, buns, barbecue sauce, all of that, $12. Are you kidding, right? This is a great deal meal. This is fantastic. And oftentimes, I mean, we got a pound of ground chicken for under $3. Under $3. What a great deal. And honestly, it makes 5 good burgers. Other than, you know, an 18-year-old boy, I've never seen anyone eat 2. One does you. So let's get busy. This is a quick meal. You're going to be to the table in under an hour tonight. Under $15, under an hour. I'm making up for those weeks where I went a little over. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is get our chicken burgers ready. And I am preheating the oven right now to 350. Easy peasy. This is such an easy meal, honestly. You're going to love doing this. This is a family favorite at my house. So, as a matter of fact, when I said I was making it, there was some dissension in that, why are you giving away the recipe? So use that as a measure. Why am I giving away the recipe? As if it's a secret. Okay, let's get our chicken out of here. Now, the thing about, if you've never worked with ground chicken versus ground beef, shame about that a little bit, isn't it? Sorry, what are we gonna do? We're gonna recycle some and the rest will be garbage. That's a little too bad. That's it, no more garbage. Working with chicken versus ground beef, or even pork for that matter, there's next to no fat. When we make these 5 burgers, they're going to be almost the exact same size coming out of the oven as they are going in. And honestly, when I make them, I look at the bun. Yeah, I don't always buy the same kind of bun. So I look at the bun and I make my patty to match the size of the bun. And it works out pretty well. This was not completely broken up. So I'm just, for a quick minute here, just with the spoon, I mean, it cuts like nothing, but I'm just breaking it into smaller bits. And there we go. Just like that. Some kinds that you buy, you won't need to do that. Now, a couple of eggs. I'm going to use 2 eggs. Compost bowl, that is going to get nice and full tonight, I bet. And there we go. And I have a towel ready for my hands tonight. And I like, you can dump everything in, but I like to get the egg mixed through really well. So I tend to do it on its own with the chicken first, just to make sure it's broken up and through there. Now you need the egg to hold it together. Okay, don't try to make burgers without an egg. It won't work. They'll fall apart on you. Now the other thing I should say is the low fat content of the chicken. Don't be tempted, because we've done this at my house. We were tempted, it makes sense, to barbecue the burgers. They didn't turn out with, they really dried out on the barbecue. They're better in the oven, okay? Trust me on that one. Let me be the one who tried and failed. You take the benefit of that. That is good enough to start. Now, I find, well, we'll go half a cup of breadcrumbs first. Now the breadcrumbs I already had. I'm hoping that you have some too. If you don't, I think you can get a big one like this for a couple of dollars. So I'm sorry, I already had them. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you could use panko if that's what you like to buy. You could even crush up some soda biscuits or anything like that. Cornmeal, if you've got that, anything will work. Breadcrumbs is my usual, not the absolute only option. There we go, that one's all done. And then we'll do some salt and pepper. I'm gonna go about a teaspoon, and same with the salt. And I like paprika in the chicken burger. A, gives it some nice color, and B, just a little something different. If you have ground chipotle, use that, even nicer. Depending on what the the spice like in your household is. I like using paprika. I find it's the perfect complement for it. And that's it for seasoning. So we've got breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, paprika, our egg, and ground chicken. And it's coming together. Give it a really good mix. I find with the chicken, you really have to kind of use the sharp side of your spoon, the edge of your spoon, to break it up. It behaves a little different than ground beef does, but you can see how nice it's coming together for us. Now, again, I didn't include it because we only need such a little bit of cheese. I didn't see going to the expense. If you don't have any cheese, it's not the end of the world. You can live without cheese on your burgers. I'm gonna put, I've got about a half a cup of grated cheese here. I'm gonna do about a quarter cup in the burger. And I'm gonna put a little bit more on the top. So that was like 3 tablespoons, because my pinch is definitely a tablespoon. We could check, someday we will. We're not doing it today. We're not checking today. Set that to the side. Now I have in the past, if I've got a nice brick of cheese, I've cut just a little tiny dice, think like a little tiny dice. And after I form the patties, I tuck one right into the middle of each burger. And then when you eat it, you know, it's all melted inside. It's kind of nice, but it does require a little more fussing about it. You're going to decide if you want to spend the time on that. Kids kind of like that though, the idea of a secret in there. Now, you can see, I'll show you, this is so easy, honestly. Like, look, we're almost done, and this was, remember, don't give away the recipe. It hardly feels like a recipe. Hardly feels like one. And yet, everyone who has them says, will you tell me how to make them? So, you're on the top of the list here now. Put that right there. What I do is I kind of smooth it out and make one big flat piece, and then it's easy for me to measure out how many I'm doing, and I can see that they're coming out relatively equal. So now I've got a nice smooth base there. I buttered my casserole dish. In this, honestly, such lean meat. So I actually prefer to go with it. If you want to use a piece of parchment, by all means, go ahead. I actually kind of think that the additional butter helps. It gives it more flavor. You're going to see I'm going to add more butter because there's no such thing as too much butter. Okay, now I want to make 5 burgers. So I'm not even going to try to cut that nice star shape of 5. I'm not going there. That's just too crazy. So what I do is I cut 4, and then I take the spoon and I make like a circle in the center, and I call that 5. And that's how I do it. You're gonna do it your own way. Maybe you're comfortable making a nice star shape. You go right ahead. That's not my way. That would just defeat me, and I'd end up cutting it like 5 times. So now, all I'm going to do is start by scooping it in. So I want 5 patties, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, and then 1 in the middle. And we can even them out and shape them up when we get them all out of the bowl and into the pan. Can you imagine how far along we are already with this? I can see right now that guy's coming out short. We'll borrow from the first one, my centerpiece, which was obviously too generous. I love this. I love how easy this meal is, and I promise you, everyone's gonna be so happy. Quit buying those chicken burgers in boxes, please. Don't do that anymore. These are so much nicer. Well, look, there's nothing in here that you need to be worried about, is there? And you know exactly what we put in. You're gonna like them so much. They're so filling and it's tasty. They're just, I promise you, you're not gonna turn back. And look, I don't know what you pay for one of those boxes, but I'm pretty sure it's more than, we're in $3 on ground chicken here. We're getting 5 burgers out of it. All right. Pretty sure that the ones in the box are more than that. And you're going to be thrilled. Okay, who else looks shy? This one still looks shy to me, and maybe that one. Shannon says maybe this guy in the corner looks a little shy. We can probably borrow off him. Okay, now, and it won't matter too much, except, you know, there could be an argument at the table. It's not going to go well. That could happen. I've certainly had that happen. You know, that one's bigger, which only matters when it's not Brussels sprouts or some such thing. Okay, now, and not to say that Brussels sprouts aren't good, not usually a big fan favorite among kids. Okay, now we're just going to, you can see I'm just forming patties with my spoon. You can get in there with your hands if you want to, but I mean, then you're gonna be all mucked up. Maybe you like mucking around in the kitchen though. So I'm not going to let myself get that messy. And you can see I'm just smoothing it out using the spoon. See how nice it forms? Like isn't this already just easier and tidier than making a ground beef burger ever was? No fancy, we don't need one of those hamburger presses or anything like that. And look, they look pretty equal. I think we've eyeballed them pretty well here. And now we'll get these last two, and then we're gonna dress them a little bit before they go in. And while I'm doing this, because this is probably a little dull to watch, if you wanted to, and I have done this, for a quick and cheap chicken parmesan, do the exact same thing, switch out, use mozzarella and some Parmesan, mix in Parmesan with your breadcrumbs, right baked in there. Instead of paprika, do some oregano or some basil or a mix of all those things. If you've got an Italian seasoning shaker, use that. And then we're going to top them with a little barbecue sauce before baking. If you were doing them with pasta and as a Parmesan alternative, you could use a little tomato sauce on top of them. And it's just, I mean, it's fun, and families like pasta, right? That's a nice meal to have. So it's just an easier, quicker version of what's probably already a favorite in your house. See how nice these look? Look at that, and I promise you, they're going to come out of the oven looking very much the same as they do going in. So, and see how you get 5? I mean, honestly, when I first started making them, I'd go with the quarter-pound idea that you do with ground beef and ground pork, and they were too big because they don't shrink. So they were just ridiculous. These are very filling. There, okay. Now, next thing, low fat in here, so we're gonna add butter because that's what we need to do. So all we're going to do is, this is not incredibly soft, which is, I'm just gonna use the back of the spoon to soften it a little bit more. I had it out for a while, but it's not there yet. So we'll just push a little bit of butter on top of each. I don't know, that's barely a teaspoon. And you don't need to get carried away about if they're all equal. We're just getting some butter on top of them. And a little bit more, whoops. I might do a shot more on those two. Okay, and then, oh, look, that one's there, so we might as well use it. Okay, there, I'll cut it out now. Now we'll use the same spoon and just move it around a little bit so that it's a little bit, you don't have to get carried away. It's gonna cook down into it. It's gonna melt almost instantly and be all the way down through the burger. So we're just helping it a little bit so it doesn't puddle, right? We're just pressing it out. Voila, we're done with the butter. I'm gonna wipe my hand, it feels greasy. And now, barbecue sauce. Kraft brand barbecue sauce, $1.49, right? $1.49. What a hoot. That's fantastic. We're gonna use, like, you know, barely any, and you're gonna have that all summer. So you can't go $1.50. I just bought the one called Original. I mean, obviously there's as many varieties as you want to choose from. So for this, I usually just use something not over the top because we're not looking to add a lot of flavor. We're just looking to, it's a condiment, not an ingredient, right? So imagine about 2 teaspoons, a tablespoon on top of each. And as I said, if you were doing this to make a Parmesan version, you could just be using a tomato sauce right there. And that's gonna go in the fridge. Look at that, $1.50. I don't even know how you do that. And now we'll get the same spoon and give it a little spread again. Don't get caught up in the detail of it. You're just looking to spread it around. There. I'm gonna let that go. Now get the rest of your cheese. And if you didn't grate cheese and you've got a brick of cheese, slice this part really thin. We're gonna put a little bit on top of each. And then it's gonna bake right on there and we're gonna have these nice chicken cheeseburgers. Isn't this easy? I love this recipe. Love the recipe. Oops, we'll share that one over there. So it's wasted if it's just on there. And there, and a little bit. Yeah, do you see what I mean now? This isn't a recipe. This is barely anything, but wait till you eat them. I tell you, you're gonna love it. Just that. Okay, burgers are ready for the oven. I don't know, I think we've been about, not 15 minutes, I doubt. 350. We're gonna put them in the oven for 35 minutes. And in they go. 35 minutes. I've already got my timer set for that, so I'm just going to push start. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. Give me 2 minutes to clean this up, and then we'll get our veggie plate ready. Those burgers come out, we'll have everything else ready, we'll be good to go. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, burgers are cooking. I decided we're just doing a veggie plate tonight, and not just a veggie plate, it's nice and it goes well with burgers in any case. Tomatoes. 88 cents a pound, right? 88 cents a pound. Bell peppers, red, yellow, orange. I think they were $2.99 a pound. This was just over $1. Cucumbers, $1 a piece. Spinach, all of the salad mixes this week. So I got this nice baby spinach because it's going to be a good condiment on our burgers and also for part of our salad plate. $2.50, but they had the arugula and spring mix ones, so it's a good time to make a salad in your household. All these nice veggies. Don't you like saying arugula? It's fun, right? Arugula. That's my little indulgence. Okay, one of these tomatoes is for the burger. So we're gonna slice it first, and you know what? Well, let's start with some spinach first. Now, just because then my cutting board's gonna get all messy from the tomatoes. So the spinach, we don't have to get too worried about it, what's gonna go on the plate, but on the burger, you might want to keep the ends trimmed. So, if that's the case, I already rinsed this, and if you rinse it in cold water, it just crisps it well right back up again. Always rinse in cold water. Not that you'd use hot water, but if it ever feels a little like it's been out of the ground for too long, give it a rinse in good cold water, and it does. It just brings it right back up nice and crisp. I'm just doing a few pieces for garnish on the burger. Obviously, you don't have to trim them if you don't want to. I personally do not like eating the stems. Then it's something hanging out the side of your mouth. It's a little embarrassing. I always trim. I'm going to go a little bit more. I always do, right? I always say that's probably enough, and then I go a little bit more. But better to have too much. Wouldn't it be a shame? Okay, last time. This is it. Because that looks like lots for 5 burgers, doesn't it? Yeah, I think so. I think I could get silly. Now this, I'm going to use when we plate. Not a salad, I'm not going to dress it or anything, but isn't it going to look beautiful on the plate? Now if you wanted to, you could dress it and then dice all your veggies and just mix it all together and make it a nice salad. I'm just going to plate it. I just want it like that. It's going to be great. It's going to look beautiful. You're going to love it. Tomato. This one, we're going to just, I need to sharpen my knives is what I need to do. Okay, this one is going to, I'm just going to slice it for our burgers. So we need 5 nice slices anyway. There's one. And I always do that because it helps me hold the tomato still if I just put that end back on, and then I can keep a hold of it better. You probably have your own trick for keeping it still while you slice, because otherwise it gets away from you and you're never going to get a nice slice. Okay, there we go. Those 2 pieces are into the bowl. That's coming back to us as more food and in not too much time. It is coming up on garden season. That's going to be our garnish for the burgers. So we can put that right there. Now, this tomato, I'm going to wedge it because I want I want it. That sounds funny. I'm going to wedge it. Sounds like I'm going to tuck it in somewhere. I want it on the plate. Shannon's laughing and that's making me laugh. Okay, we're going to both stop it now. Okay, I really need to sharpen this knife. Cut one end off like that. Get rid of it. Now I can hold it still. To cut wedges, I find if I do like that, and then you can kind of see them happening. And that's what I want. I want to see them happen. See how you can see that coming together? There. Maybe you can't see that. I think you can see it. If you, oh, that one might be staying that size. No, I got it. Okay, there's some. And for now, we're just gonna put all of our veggies onto the plate. That can go there. And now we'll do this one. We'll go with the center and then that and that. And if you just put this to the table with salt and pepper for everyone to do what they want it with, I think that it's really nice. And our pepper. Now, we'll get the center out, which much easier to use this little knife for that. Wow, look at how bizarre. This is so, look, do you see what I see? Do you see what I don't see? There are no seeds. This, oh my goodness. What's going on? That is a strange thing. That goes against everything. I don't even understand. I don't want to think about that too much. I don't want to think about that too much. We're just going to move on and say it's saving me time because I'm not going to stress about whether or not I should save the seeds. How strange. How strange. Now, this, like that, we'll trim up those bits, like always, to get rid of it. And it's there, but I couldn't get it. There it is. There, okay. My husband is growing peppers. Well, he started them, and all sorts of interesting varieties, every color imaginable. And the race is on. 2 different seed companies have promised the sweetest pepper ever. They're 2 different peppers. So, I'll let you know what if they both grow. And you know, they're so pretty right now because they've got beautiful little purple flowers on them. It's so pretty. And this, we're just going to cut into slices again. Now, and they had all colors. I knew that we had tomato, so I didn't want to do another red. But depending when you make a veggie plate, really, you're just looking to make it as colorful as possible. If I didn't already have the cucumber, maybe I would have gone with a green bell pepper. So always just go with color and make it look as nice. If you had carrots, then you might want a yellow pepper. Do it to make it colorful and bright and inviting. There. And now we'll cut this one, and isn't that nice? Cuts up really well, and it's because it's not overripe. Those overripe veggies are the bane of nice slicing. That was my finger a little bit, but just a little knife, so no big deal. No harm done. And there, look, we're getting a good assortment going. Now, depending, I mean, if you have time and you want to make it all up into a salad with the spinach, a simple vinaigrette would be lovely. And you can even make one just with some, if you don't have a bottle of vinaigrette dressing, just use some olive oil and a little bit of soy sauce and some nice seasonings. That would put it together nice. Even a little olive oil and orange juice makes a nice, simple salad dressing. You don't have to get carried away about these things. Cucumber. Look at this. This is nice. And we'll just cut that $1. Come on. This and some cream cheese, and you've got fancy tea time sandwiches, right? Promise me you're doing that at least sometimes. Mother's Day is coming, okay? So if you're not bringing something in for Mother's Day, why bother when you're learning how to make all these nice things? Maybe you should be cutting up a cucumber, dice it up really small, and soften some cream cheese, a little bit of mayonnaise in with your cream cheese or even sour cream, just to thin it out a little bit, and then get all that little thin cucumber slices in there, mix it all up on a sandwich. Are you kidding? Very fancy, very fancy. You could be at the King Edward Hotel having high tea if you did that. That and a scone, and I promise you, you're gonna make your mom happy. And how easy? It's not hard. It's not hard. It's really not hard to make moms happy at all. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna, look how nice this, look at how colorful that is. Isn't it pretty? And, whoops. And that's a lot of veggies. That's lots of veggies. And there we go. So our veggies, and when the time comes, I'm gonna plate, so at your table, however you choose to do it. My thought is we're gonna put the spinach on the plate and then lay the veggies on top of it with the burger. If you are more everything to the table at once, maybe get a nice big bowl or even a large, like a rectangle casserole dish, make a bed out of the spinach and then arrange these nicely on top. Remember the ratatouille last week? Like do something like that, like fancy, lay it all out so it looks pretty. That's really it. Let me see where our timer's at. We've got just over 15 minutes left on our timer. Can you imagine? This meal is ready. This is, no one, honestly, a recipe? This isn't a recipe. We haven't done anything. Look what we've done. And we've got so much food ready. Green bin, we had that unfortunate tray from the chicken. I'm gonna get over it. Other than that, we're doing great here with this meal once again, with keeping the garbage away from our meal. We don't want to eat garbage, and we don't want to just keep creating it either. So let's keep eating food that just comes back to us as more food. These good deals go till next Wednesday. So next Wednesday is the 21st. So try to get in there. If you bought this chicken, now when you buy the ground chicken, here's something to keep in mind. When it's on sale like this, if it's fresh, so it's never been frozen, make up the patties, wrap them individually, and freeze them. Now you've got them ready for cooking up any day. If you buy ground chicken that is already frozen or is still frozen when you buy it, you won't be able to do that. But when it's on sale and it's fresh, you could make them up, put them away. Handy meal, just ready to go. And 21st, 12 bucks. I got these buns. I haven't shown you the buns. They're the Compliments brand, just simple buns. Now, with these burgers, I mean, really, you could use a nice onion bun or a cheese bun or anything at all. An onion bun is really quite nice, right? It gives that little bit of extra flavor. They tend to be bigger, more like a Kaiser size. So measure out the size of your patty so that you match the size of the bun, okay? You might only get 4 when you make them that big. Who knows? It's going to be a lot of eating. Once we have this plated, those are going to come out. We're going to make up our burgers. I'm gonna dress them all right away, put them together, have a good look at it on the plate, see how nice this meal is gonna be. I'm gonna wash these dishes now, and I'll see you in 15 minutes when they're ready to come out and we're ready to plate. It's almost dinner time. I'll see you in a bit. 35 minutes are up. We'll get the burgers out. Oh, you're gonna love the way they smell. They smell so good. And look. Now you'll see what I mean. Look, they didn't shrink. If anything, they pop up. I'll just close this. Because it's very hot. We can turn that off. These look amazing. And now you can see why I'm saying there's no way you need 2 of these, because they're big. They're really big. This is a lot of work to eat this burger. Now, I'm gonna set one up right away. We will do. Now, it's important to me for no reason other than it's important to me that the right side of the green always be pointing at the bun. And then if you take the bun off, it looks beautiful. You're not looking at the underside. You want people to enjoy their food. So, so we'll do that, just like that. We're gonna put a slice of tomato on there. And then we'll put our burger on. Can you imagine how easy this meal is? This is the easiest thing ever. Look at that, how easy it can be. Look at this burger. Squish it down a little. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, we're gonna finish our plate. We're gonna come over here. I'm not gonna put the lid on that burger just yet. And at home, you might wanna leave it that way. I like these sandwiches with mayonnaise on them. And they already have the barbecue sauce on, so I don't know, but mayonnaise, maybe some mustard if that, I'm not a fan of mustard, but I could see somebody wanting mustard. Now we're gonna do our little bed of spinach, lettuce. I'm used to it being a bed of lettuce. There we go. Looks good. And now we'll just do an assortment. So we're gonna do some cucumbers, and odd numbers always work well. It's just, they'll look nicer. If you work in odd numbers, it will always look nicer than working in even numbers. It's just the way it is. And then we can take a couple of wedges of tomato. I'm just gonna do that. What do you think? So we're in $12 and change. I think it was $12.87 with a few things around here. Let's go ahead and say we're at $15, just because. $15, less than $4 a plate. Only place you can get this meal for $4 a plate is your own kitchen. Get cooking. Look at this. This is a beautiful meal. Your family's gonna love this meal. Look how pretty it looks, and it's delicious. Wait till you bite into that. Beautiful meal, $4 a plate, less than $4 a plate. We have been, I don't even know how long, like 40 minutes getting this ready. It's 45. This is so simple. It's a no-brainer. Quit letting food eat up all your time and money. You can do this. You can do this in very little time for just a little bit of money and a delicious meal every day. This is not hard work. This is easy work. And if you've got a family, get some good help in the kitchen. Make it go even faster. Certainly get them to help with the cleanup. Get to the store, buy Wednesday, get these good deals so you can try this delicious meal. I know you're gonna like it. What an easy go-to meal on a weeknight. But you might want it on the weekend, even when you've got time for more. This is all here. Freshco donated all these nice ingredients for me to do this demonstration meal for you, show you how easy it is. I'm going to be feeding this meal forward when I leave the kitchen here tonight. I'll be dropping it off at a family's home so that they can enjoy this beautiful dinner tonight. Take good care, enjoy your dinners. I'll see you in a week. And don't forget, when you watch the video and learn how to make this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the Westminster Orangeville channel, and hit the little bell so that you're notified each week when the new video comes up and you're ready to get cooking. And by hitting notification, you know when those sales are going to happen. Keep eating good food.